Hey everyone, and welcome to Shondaland Weekly, a brand new show here at AFTERBUZZ TV, where we're talking about everything Shondaland news related from all of her shows, and we'll have different segments each week talking about a lot of different things. So make sure you guys are joining us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Only right to intro with this. Okay. Because like Shonda, she's everyone power woman, right? There you go.
Yes, she very much is.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Elle Marie, and you guys may have seen me on the panel for Grey's Anatomy, so I'm here as well because I am one of those people that loves Shonda Rhimes, all of her shows and everything. I am a Shonda fanatic. You guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Elle Marie TV.
I also love Shonda Rhimes, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tori_Broussard.
Hey everybody, I am Keith André. Like everybody else, we all love Shonda, and hopefully we'll get to see who loves her the most sooner or later. But you can follow me everywhere at Keith_André.
I believe I'm the one that loves the queen the most. What's up, you guys? I'm Lynneisha, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lynneisha, spelled Lanisha 914.
Man, Shonda.
Okay.
Listen, she's like everywhere right now, doing so many things.
Yeah,
so
it's
to
really
start
hard to
off,
keep up,
it is. You know, to start off with kind of one show, not from her very beginning. I don't know her very beginnings, but just from ABC, her relationship with them, starting off with Grey's Anatomy, that was so long ago. I think it's been running for like
10 years.
10 years?
I read 10 years, yeah.
That's a long time. And then
crazy.
the success of her other shows as well. Like we have How to Get Away with Murder that is just killing it right now.
That's my show.
I love How to Get Away with Murder.
Same. And Scandal.
Which is
That's
the best.
Yes.
Oh, but it's
The
ending.
last
It's ending, but you
season,
know
I
what?
know.
I kind of appreciate that because what I will say is that I am so here for How to Get Away with Murder. It's like, it's Thursday, I gotta watch it. Or like, I can't go to bed before I like it. So no one can ruin it for me the next day on Twitter or things like that. And it used to be that way for me for Scandal. And it kind of slowly, like, it's not that way anymore. So I appreciate, like, you know, and I think that a lot of people were starting to feel that way. So it ended on a high note.
Yeah,
It did.
but I think regardless of how you feel, whatever the show is, you can't talk about Shonda and not have wine. So
Yes,
we
that's
might
very
as well
true.
indulge a little bit. Can we?
Yes, we absolutely can. Okay, so we should probably start off by saying that we're going to do this every week. We're going to have a wine of our choice. One of us will pick a wine that we like, and we'll just share it with you guys because who doesn't drink wine?
And I know Shonda doesn't go anywhere without drinking wine, or at least her
Right.
characters don't. They drink everything.
Exactly.
Wine,
Especially Olivia.
Okay.
But on the show, we're
Tequila,
only going to be
everything.
drinking wine. So this one is actually called Roscato. I've actually never tried it. Shout out to my best friend Ariel because she is actually the one who picked it out.
Oh.
It's a sweet red. Sweet
red.
red. It's got blackberries, raspberries, or red raspberries, and cherries. It's from Italy, northern Italy. So I'm going to let Elle Marie pour her glass first.
Oh, we're
Nice.
very Italian
I'm
tonight.
not really a red wine drinker, but if I do drink red wine, I like it to be sweet.
I like
I'm
that.
the
So
same way. I have a
Hopefully,
sweet tooth.
you guys like it.
Yes.
It should be good. You can't go wrong.
Look, you only got
Yeah.
to do a little dash if you don't like it.
Okay.
Because you can't waste alcohol now.
You cannot waste it. We do not
Is this
do
a little
that.
sparkling as well?
It is like a kind of cider.
Listen, there's something
little.
powerful about a red wine in a glass. I think
It
Like,
is.
you can't go wrong with it, whether you like it or
It's
not.
strong,
You're gonna
guys.
drink it
Y'all
because-
smelled
Yes.
it?
It does. It looks like white wine looks pretty, and
Ah.
red wine looks powerful.
Yeah, I think this is
like
why
this.
Shonda uses mainly this type of wine.
Mm-hmm. For Olivia,
Always
doesn't she?
red. I don't really be seeing. Don't play.
Okay. We'll go one
Just a
at a
little
time,
now.
right?
Come
We're gonna
on.
take this
Just
one
a
down.
little.
Well, cheers.
Okay,
Cheers.
cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Shondaland.
So thank God it's Monday.
Thank
Yeah.
God
Okay.
it's Monday.
I like it.
Okay, me too.
I do. I like it
This is
too.
a good red wine. I was scared a little bit.
Right, because sometimes it can be a little bitter,
Because red
Yeah,
wine, I'm
right.
like,
It can be
exactly.
dry.
have a bite to it, but
Yeah, no,
this is
that's
it.
It's
good.
pretty good.
Do you
Okay,
taste
so
the cherries, the blackberries, or the
you
red
know,
raspberries?
I feel like I take the blackberries.
The
It's
blackberries.
a
I
little
take the
berry
cherries.
full to me. A little berry.
Very full. Okay, we'll take it. Anyways, it's a good
Definitely
wine.
it's like
Right.
cider.
So we can start with our wine each week. We'll make that a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever brings the next bottle, this is what you guys
This is
are.
what we're gonna do.
This is what
Time.
you. Yeah.
Cool.
Who can
And
step
you
up
know
to the
what?
plate?
If you guys have some suggestions out there of some wines that we should try,
Yeah.
so no, I don't drink wine that much, and I'll be in the store like any, mini, money, mo, like trying
Right?
to
Just
figure it
trying to
out.
figure it out.
Yeah, so tweet us if you guys have some suggestions, your favorite wine, and you want us to try it.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Nice.
like wine, so please give me anyone to try.
Right. I'll be here each week for the wine and the Shonda conversation.
Give us 1, 2, maybe 4, 5. You know?
And we're good.
Yeah. Man, so let's get into this news about Shonda now. I know she shocked everyone with the announcement with Netflix.
Yes.
Yes.
And
She
when we
did.
first heard it, everyone thought she was leaving to go to Netflix. So it was like, well, what is going to happen to these shows?
TGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
TGIT.
TGIT. So,
But thankfully,
Yeah.
like she's not she's leaving, but her new developments are going to Netflix. So any new shows that she has
Right.
coming out that she's developing, they will be on Netflix. However, Grey's Anatomy and How to Get Away with Murder, I almost said Scandal, but
Yes, Scandal's
It's
coming.
ending.
they will continue to air on ABC, which
Yeah.
was I'm
That's
glad that
good.
I'm glad she
Yeah.
cleared that up because I thought, oh, like
I did too.
buy ABC, like
yeah, because I was
peace.
like, well,
Yeah.
what's going to happen here?
It
Like,
just-
are you going to keep the shows and then someone else is going to have control? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
What's going
initially
on?
it didn't make a lot of sense just because of, as a consumer, you're just trying to figure out what's going to happen with like the content that you
Yeah.
love. So I think
Exactly.
it'll end up being like a slow like exit, not something that's overnight. I think ultimately she's not going to be in two places. I think the goal is to just go ahead and distribute and do everything to
Yes.
Netflix.
Netflix.
But I'm excited to see what else she comes up with because to be fair, we have seen a couple of shows that didn't quite, you know,
Yeah.
make
Make
the
the
cut.
mark,
They did.
right?
Yeah,
That's
there's
exactly
been a
what
few.
I was
We
Right.
couldn't get the
thinking.
audience there,
Yeah.
so I'm excited because Netflix, we have everything right at our fingertips. We can
Yes.
binge watch the whole
Yep.
season. I'm just
True.
hoping that she
Yeah.
brings the
Yeah.
same like action-packed,
Mhm.
three-dimensional
Yeah.
characters that we love from Scandal,
Yes.
How to
Yeah.
Get Away Murder, and Grey's
Absolutely.
Anatomy.
I wonder if it's going to be too much for her, though. This is great branding because she gets to be on ABC and Netflix, but, you know, she kind of got tired a little bit with Scandal, so I wonder with all these new shows coming in,
Or
is she
how
going
much
to
she'll
gonna
be-
tire her out?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
how much will she be, I guess, involved?
Yeah, because with How to Get Away with Murder, she's just executive producing, right?
I believe
she
so,
doesn't
yeah. I
write
think
on
she
How to
doesn't
Get
write
Away
on
with
that,
Murder. She
yeah.
wasn't the creative.
But
so.
even being an executive producer,
Oh,
hello.
true.
They do a lot.
They do a lot.
She
But
wears-
sometimes when you get to a certain point, it's
Yeah.
just the title.
She wears
Right.
it.
Like, just let me, I created
give
it,
me the
boom.
EP title.
Right,
Okay, I'm out.
and that's
Give me
all
the
I
money.
need. But it'll be exciting to see. But quick question for you, El Marie, because I know you are a diehard Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
Are there any talks about when that's going to come to an end? I did hear that they're creating a spinoff for ABC on Grey's Anatomy, but Grey's
Yeah.
Anatomy has really been riding for
They're
10
really, I
years.
haven't heard
Yeah.
anything, and
And
they
they-
actually.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say they've been through so many like different casts
They
and
have.
transitions,
Yeah.
but they're still able.
They're still there, and I thought I was at a point with Grey's Anatomy as well. Like, okay, I'm done. I'm kind of over it. Like some of these characters, they're too new, but then now like time has gone on, and like okay, now I am attached and invested in these characters as well. I do like them, and I feel like they kind of turned it around, and the drama, the excitement is still there. So I still like it, and now the spinoff show is gonna be a firefighter show. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, like that's gonna be interesting as well. And if they're gonna kind of, I don't know if you guys watch these other shows, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD,
Right.
they
Yeah.
intertwine those shows like
Okay.
all the time. So that's kind of what the firefighter show is gonna be like. So Grey's Anatomy and that show, they still have a working title. I don't think they have the title for it yet. So they'll be interacting with those two shows together. So with that being said, like Grey's Anatomy might go on another.
Exactly.
But that's like
More
what I
years.
really like
More
about
years to go.
That's what
ain't
I
blaming
really
her.
like about Grey's Anatomy, though, is that she's constantly getting new fans of that show. I mean, 14 seasons. I binged watch seasons 1 through 9 right when season 9 ended. So I didn't even watch
Binge
Grey's
watch?
Anatomy. Yeah.
You
In
tired?
a summer.
Right?
Yeah, it
was
would take
a-
the whole summer.
It was
for
a lot
that.
of work, but it was absolutely worth it.
did
Now
it.
I'm in love with Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's really cool. So with the firefighter spinoff, I
Yeah, I think
think
that's
she's just going to
dope.
continue to grow more and more fans.
For sure.
Most
And another
definitely.
quick point is that we do have the opportunity, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, Grey's Anatomy, they all are on Netflix as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
like it's just bringing everything to one house because it's still there. She's got the fans, so
Yeah.
I think it was a good idea on both sides.
Yeah,
of
and
the
I
So
think
table.
will
what
they
could
be
be-
leaving Hulu? Because
Oh,
How
that's
to
a
Get Away
good
with Murder
question.
and
That is-
Scandal, they're on
That's a good
Hulu.
question. But
No idea.
if those shows are still like with
On-
ABC, they're still
gonna be
so they
there.
can
Yeah.
still be on Hulu.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
so
it's
she's
any of her
really
content
getting
that's on
ratings.
Netflix. Yeah. And then the thing is, I'm thinking because we mentioned her other shows, there were some shows that kind of failed. They didn't last. They got canceled.
Right.
Like
The
The
Catch.
Catch,
Right.
which I really wasn't a fan of.
I
Was
You
tried.
not
know
a fan of
the
that
show
show.
that I tried? What I forgot the name.
Star-
Notorious. That was hers, right?
I
And
loved Notorious.
I thought I would, but I didn't really
You
get
didn't
into
like
that one.
it?
I didn't get into it.
I
I really
liked
thought I would
Notorious.
with it because of the storylines, but I didn't get into it. But I feel like with Netflix, there is opportunity for a different audience. See, with
Yeah.
ABC, you kind of have a certain
Limited.
audience. Yeah, there's certain
Exactly.
people that so certain things may not work. So at least
Yeah.
with Netflix, you have
That's such a good
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
Shonda
it's
was
a lot you can do
already
with that.
pushing the limit. She was
She
pushing the
was.
limit with a lot of
Yeah.
her storylines.
She
But now
was.
with Netflix, it's endless.
And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that with Netflix, she'll be able to kind of approach the stories that she's telling different as well. Because with the
Yeah.
shows that she have, they are of, a similar cloth in a lot of
Yeah.
ways with the characters
Right.
and the monologues and how they're written. So I am excited to see her really like branch out and do things
something
different,
different.
because that's the staple of her career and who she is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Well, I read, she wants to go to Netflix because she believes that Netflix will be the opportunity to build new storytelling for home writers with creative freedom for global reach. So
Most definitely.
I feel like
Yeah.
she's at that point where she's like, okay, here's my fan base right here. How do
Right.
I reach the other people
Exactly.
who really probably aren't fans or not following her?
Yeah.
And she totally
Yeah.
can do that with Netflix. I mean,
Yeah.
they did it with me.
Right? That's exciting
There you
to
go.
see. I'm really looking forward to it and all the content
Yeah,
that'll
same.
come out of it.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
I feel like Netflix, they took a huge risk because before this announcement, I was hearing that they were in debt. Like they were in so much debt. And how do you have all this money to pay Shonda? But I feel like that just shows like how invested they are and how they believe in her work, that she will
Right.
bring the revenue back into Netflix. Like they don't have to worry about it.
She's
'Cause
definitely
that's
going to
a-
bring the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it speaks
believe in
to
her.
who she is as a businesswoman as well. I don't know if she ventured or if they brought it to her, but just looking at the climate and the way that we consume media.
Right.
And then I had read about how in, I believe, 2018, I think it is, Disney is trying to venture off
they're
into like a
leaving
Netflix
Netflix.
type of situation.
Yeah,
Where they're like starting their
With
own,
their
like
own-
Disney
Right,
streaming.
their own
yeah.
place to stream. So
Yeah.
for her to jump in to realize, you know what, this could be lucrative for Netflix because they need somebody to gauge
Yeah.
and to keep their audience what
Right.
it is. So she's got some. I feel that she has her work cut out for her, but
Yeah.
she's the person that can do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Great strategy.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what
Okay.
she's gonna do. Yeah.
Here for it.
She definitely represents female power. But speaking
Female
of that,
power.
she not too long ago had a sit down with Michelle Obama. I believe it was a conference, so there were a lot of women.
A women's conference, yeah.
It was a women's conference. A lot of women speaking there. You had a little bit more information about it, right?
So it was basically just a little sit down. They had a conversation about, Michelle Obama's life in the White House as well as
Yeah.
out of the White House. And then, of course, just women empowerment in general and how one of the things that stood out to me was I guess they had a talk like right before they went on stage, and they were talking about how they feel very comfortable when they walk into the room. They feel like they belong. And Shonda asked her, like, how have you always felt that way? And, Michelle was very, humble and was like, well, let me just let you know, I haven't always felt that way. But she does believe that it's something that she wants to kind of like implement in young females.
Females.
How is it, what can we do basically to make them
Right.
comfortable when they walk in a room? And that literally led me to ask myself, like, do I always feel comfortable when I walk into a room? Like,
Yes.
do I feel like I belong? And what was really cool was she said, when she was a little girl, like being raised, the children in her household were never hushed. She said it was just as important to hear the children's opinion and thoughts just as well as the adults. And I was like, wow, like how many people can actually say, when I was young, my
Right.
parents, sat down and listened to me or asked me, like what I thought about, just different issues in the world and then just also in their household in general.
And I wonder if, like, her daughters, Michelle Obama, I wonder if her daughters sparked that idea even more to just get that out there of female empowerment. I wonder how her daughters go around like saying like, hey, I wonder how I look, like I have to be like this in the public eye.
Right, because my dad and
my
mom
dad was
are-
the president,
right.
my mom is Mrs. President.
Right,
Definitely.
exactly.
That's a lot of pressure.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
I
don't
feel
know.
like we kind of mentioned earlier, I think that is a good thing that her parents did that for her. Like, let her speak her mind, and because it has to start young. I think anything you do like that, you kind of have to start young with it so you can build that confidence. When you start later, it takes a little bit of time for you to kind of get to the place where you want to be with the confidence and to stand in a room and just, you know, address whoever you need to address when you feel like the room is more powerful than what you're used to.
Yes.
You know, so like we were talking earlier how, you know, when I was growing up and, you know, you're around older people, you're elders, you respect them, you know, speak when spoken to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you only speak if someone acknowledges you, if that's okay. So you grow up like, okay, well, it's not my turn to speak. It's not my place to speak.
Right.
So I think that that was really good for her parents. And then I believe, and she's passing it on to her children, and not only her children, but to all young women.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even I'm grown now, but still for me, I was like, you know what? Like, I think like when I do have kids, like that's the route I want to take, especially for little girls.
For sure. And I don't doubt that she still got the, you know, speak when spoken to or respecting the elders. I think that's probably was still there as well. But I think it does extend to not just to women, but to men as well. Because we live in a world where to be a brown face or to be a person of color is not as easy to walk in and have like a sense of entitlement that we should have or kind of revere ourselves.
Right.
And I always tell people like my best quality is like the way I was raised. Like my mom did such a good job with 6 kids and mannered and well spoken and all these things. But on the other hand, that kind of puts you into a bubble to where you do get into the world and you walk into spaces kind of presenting smaller because you're so aware of the presentation and how you want people to perceive you. So you don't always have the forthright to just, you know, come out and to be yourself and to take ownership of a room or the space that you're in. So I think that's something that is helpful, and those type of conversations are going to be endearing to everybody and reach beyond just to women or to young females, but to the world for sure.
Especially for Shonda, because I know she did used to feel more closed off. Remember with her yes book and everything, say yes to it for a year.
Exactly. Everything.
Yeah. So I know this must have been great for her to hear from Michelle Obama. How can I be confident, not just pretend, not just to put on a face, but to actually be confident in myself?
Right.
So I'm so happy that two powerful women combined together.
Because that's important too, though. Like, that's a hit a chord, because sometimes you can definitely put on a face.
Yeah.
And you're just pretending, and to actually have that confidence and like, yes, I'm not putting on a face. Like I'm gonna turn around, I'm still gonna have this aura about me.
Actually
Like,
feel it. Actually be
And
it.
two, to see that it's something that isn't like, okay, I'm not always going to be the most confident person in the room. But I think that's the beauty of what Shonda does as well, because we get these characters that are 3-dimensional and that are flawed and have all these things going on. But at the end of the day, you can take away, you know, there's something powerful or impactful that you can get and that you can use in your get bag to go to work or wherever you are.
Yeah. And that's what she said.
Good thing, girl.
That's exactly what she said. She was like, you know, it is okay for women to be angry. And I was like, yes, absolutely. Because even though I feel like I'm a happy-go-lucky, you know, like very jolly person, I don't always wake up happy. You know, like I have sad days. I was crying the other day, you know, like
Okay.
I go to bed mad.
Agree
Yeah,
to
you
that.
definitely have your days. And one thing that she said was she feels that, you know, women are kind of put in this box, you know, like you have to cross your legs, you have to sit this way, you have to do that, don't talk that way. You know, like we're very sheltered, both by like elders and then like men in general, you know. And so I think she's slowly trying or wanting to like break down those walls. Like you are a human, you know, like she said when she was growing up, when her dad would go take her brother into the boxing ring, she was like, I was right there and I had my own pair of boxing gloves. And I was like, wow, you know, like how many, you know, like growing up in the South, it's very common, like, oh, the dad goes with the son to go play football, and what does the daughter have to go do? Oh, go be a cheerleader.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, okay. Like, can I just at least watch the practice? Like, no, go play with your pom-poms.
Right.
The typical old tradition standards.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they are both the epitome of showing like women are powerful. I know I keep saying that, but that's for me like just the best way to describe it. Like we are powerful, and that is such a strong word, and I think, you know, would always think of men as being that way, but it's like no, women can be assertive, we can be powerful, we can be all of those things without being a bitch, because and with women, like you can do all those things, and then you're the bitch of the office. Whereas the man is just like he's assertive, or you know what I mean. That's so and so. So don't cross him, and it's not a problem. But with women, it's a problem. So they're both showing you like, no, you can be the boss, you can be this, and you can be that. And you can be, not have that negative connotation with your attitude, and it's fine.
It should be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think it's
especially with Olivia.
It's a complicated kind of balancing act that people have to navigate around the world. But as a man on the panel, I mean,
speaking for the men,
representing for the men, because it does, reach a little further than just the women. A lot of times in our community, we see this whole women empowerment movement, and that's cute. But come on, like bring us in here. But I think that also it to look at it a step further, I know it's easy to kind of navigate the space as what a woman can do or what a man can do, but when you have a man and a woman and they're both brown faces, then it's we do see kind of the world
similarity.
Being aware of how we present, because if you're a black man, how angry can you know what I mean? The same kind of stigma is attached to it. So I think it is a bit of a balancing act, but the world that we live in is like ever changing, and we see that on TV. We see that a lot beyond Shonda. So that's why I think having the Netflix deal, she really has the cushion to create this environment that is, like you said, going to reach like a worldwide situation. Because her message is always going to be intact.
Yeah.
You thought she was pushing the boundaries before.
Right.
Child,
just
let's
wait.
see what she can give us on Netflix. I love a Netflix binge. I'm trying to tell y'all, I love it.
I have a feeling I'm not going to get off my couch.
That'd be the best. Just
so
one
bad,
day.
right?
I feel like you should have at least one day a week where, even if it's your shows, like some shows I'd be binge watching, like my Thursdays. I'm gonna go through and watch I'm gonna watch them all tonight. Don't nobody have to talk to me. I'm not going nowhere.
This phone is on Do Not Disturb.
Right. Even
Don't be offended if I don't respond to your text.
But we know with Shonda shows, it may be on Do Not Disturb, but I'm still gonna be looking because it's gonna make you feel like, well, dang, who should I be texting?
Tweet me if you want to talk to me.
You're gonna feel a type of way. You're gonna feel a type of way.
Definitely, it's not gonna be each day. I'm probably gonna be on that one day. I'm watching all the season because she always leaves those cliffhangers that you want to solve.
I know, and like the fact that you have it right there.
Yes.
Because How to Get Away with Murder is so good for that. You'll be like,
oh my God.
Nah, I
cannot wait 7 days. I just cannot do it.
Okay, I since we've brought up How to Get Away with Murder so many times tonight, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I am not the biggest How to Get Away with Murder fan. Out of all of the shows, that's not my number one.
What?
Yeah, and then she.
What don't you like?
I it just the first season I loved it, and then I just felt after that it just kind of like bounced around, and I was like, wait, where are we going with this? Then Wes is gone. Wes is dead.
Tori,
so it's like,
you are tripping.
I thought that was a smart move on her hand because you would never expect a main character.
Well, to be clear. I don't know how much, like we said, involvement she has with How to Get Away with Murder. I know she's not writing, so as far as content or story-wise. Yeah, but I can't.
I still love it. I don't care.
I'm so disappointed in you because
keep up How to Get Away with Murder. I don't know what she watching.
How to Get Away with Murder is the draw in
it. It is. It's
I'm
like,
just saying,
that's the one
out
I
of
can't
all,
miss. I'm talking about it. It's How to Get Away with Murder. Then I'll do Scandal just because I'm invested.
Right.
And I fell off of Grey's Anatomy, so now it got to the point where I wanted to jump back in it, but it was like, oh, it's too late.
It's
I can't find my space. I don't know where I left off at.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching. It's a struggle.
Oh my God.
I will say it's not going on, but when you really, if you have to invest in it, you have to pay attention for one, because sometimes I'm on my phone and I'm like, wait, what just happened? So you have it's a put your phone down type of show. Like you have to pay attention and get invested in it. And I think it's a lot going on, but when you really follow the storyline, to me, like it all makes sense.
It always
and
comes
it's like,
together.
what is about to happen now?
Right?
You know, so
and
that's why I go on Hulu and I rewind, so I could be like, wait, because I missed that text. Hold on, what did they say?
So maybe I am distracted because I do have to go back and watch episodes. Or, like in the middle, like, okay, rewind. But then by then, I'm like, I'm tired.
Over it. No, you should be able to
get... Like, okay, let me just get this episode.
Right, just trying to finish it because everybody's watching it.
Right, and I at least want to be able to talk about it.
I mean, I'm okay if that's not your show.
I'm not okay. You
It's
need
a
to
little
get back on it. I
bothersome.
don't know what you sipping
I
on.
would-
Maybe
I feel
not
like
that
just give
wine.
it-
I don't know. I don't know.
Give it another shot.
Yeah, give
I
it
would
one more
rather,
chance.
maybe give it another shot, and then if it's not for you, that's fine. But I wouldn't don't make yourself sit through it.
I'm gonna force you. Watch.
But I am interested to see, because we are talking about these binge-worthy moments and being able to watch the season, if she brings a different approach to with the Netflix shows, because now they are going to be, you have a whole season, you leave it out there. I don't know if that's going to, something that she's going to take note of in her writing or character development. But I know for me, I try to pace myself with shows that you have that ability, but it never works.
No.
It never works.
Really.
That's not the point.
You're never going to limit yourself.
No.
You're going to indulge.
It's like those potato chips. You can't have this one. You can't watch this one episode.
I mean,
You're like,
I
one
already
more.
told you
I'm
guys
just gonna
to
watch
stay on
one.
my
I'm gonna
couch.
go to bed.
You're like, it's 4:30, but I can just get through this one more and take a nap in the morning for 15 minutes and then get a shower and then go to
And then
work.
start my day.
No.
I work so tired. What's wrong with you? You go out last night?
No.
don't
You
worry
was in
about
the
it.
bed watching TV. You can't help it.
Oh,
can,
no judgment from this side at all. I'm all for
I
that.
know.
I'm
I know
judging.
some of our viewers have been there. I know they've been there.
And I'm trying to tell you, there's no way, even especially with people like we talked about how, she has the ability to cultivate, new audience members along the way, especially with instruments like Netflix, where we have all seasons of the show. So I'm sure when the season started back up, people want to revamp and watch last season and just get through it all. So I'm sure some audience members, some viewers are out there who binge watch. You got to do it.
Positive.
You have to.
And if you say you don't, I'm pretty sure you're lying. Because
Or you just don't have Netflix or Hulu.
right. But then you have friends.
You gonna get
'Cause
somebody's.
That's true.
Man,
Or your
you get someone's
parents.
login.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
not saying that's what you should do.
You giving it bad advice.
I'm not telling nobody to steal nobody's login.
It's
But-
not stealing if you ask.
Yeah, it's not
For
silly.
Shonda, you may want to hit us up.
Ask
you
and
may
still
want to
do
get
it.
okay. Tweet for the code. Tweet for the password.
See, now you.
I don't know.
Now you just took it to another level because I wasn't saying all that. Do not tweet me from my Netflix password.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
giving
using
it.
somebody
now,
else.
you guys want to put in your Netflix password so I can binge watch. There you go.
That'll work.
Okay.
That will work.
But speaking of her shows and all the drama that she has in her show,
It's always something.
it's always
Always.
something. So one of our segments that we'll be doing going forward is What Would You Do? So
I like this
I
segment.
do too.
Right.
So on Scandal, it's kind of been like the last 3 episodes because she kind of teased it and then they showed the reaction of how everything went down. But so Olivia's on a date. I forget the date's name. I think it's Jay Hernandez is the actor's real name.
Yeah,
But
I
so
love
she's on. Yeah, I know he's so cute. So she's on a date with him. They are just making out coming off of the elevator.
Oh, okay.
So the
Yeah.
date, the date is
There's-
over. The
there's
date is
spits.
over. She's taking him home.
Right, you're right. The date.
Right.
So it's not a date.
Yeah.
It's not a date.
She said,
It's
meet
smash
me
time.
at da-da-da address.
Right. It's smash time. So you get off the elevator and your ex is standing there. Now they both kind of have the look like, okay,
Hello.
what would you guys do?
I'd be like, the hell, you gotta go.
Now, knowing all the history though,
Right.
like that they have, the type
Yeah,
of
with the
relationship with
president.
Olivia and Fitz, like, I don't think that's just one of those guys or just one of those people you'd be
Yeah.
like, just go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't imagine in any regard, whether it's somebody that ain't nothing or whether somebody is worth something that it's going to be like, just go. Like, I feel that that's going to kill the night. Whatever plans I had are not going to happen.
That's why the
Right.
guy left.
That's
Right, and
over
because
and
then
done
let's not
with.
forget that he voluntarily
I mean, he
Yeah.
said
got
he
back on
didn't
the
have a
elevator and
choice.
left.
It was
And
awkward.
And she didn't
Right,
really go
very.
after him that
It's uncomfortable, and what are you gonna do when this man was the president of the United States? So I think if it is for me, what would I do? Like if it was somebody who I was in a serious relationship, situationship, whatever you may want to call it, with, then I would probably. I would kind of take it with a grain of salt because why are you here? You're not here for no reason. You surely aren't here thinking that, you know what I mean? Like we're just
Right.
gonna like
point.
this is what that's gonna be. So I would probably try to take it at that. But 2, if it's an ex where it's ended on like bad terms, like this is gonna be an issue because first of all, let's be clear, who's showing up at somebody's house unannounced in 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
If you're doing that, you're in complete
Stop
violation.
it. Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'm gonna be more upset that you here unannounced than the fact that you
Right.
actually are here.
I mean,
See, now
I done
that
had
would
some
be like,
pop-ups
you
in my
gotta
day.
go.
just no one was there though. You know, just
Okay,
well, I
but
mean, not
somebody's
another
showing up.
person was there.
See,
But I've
usually
had
you
one.
get like a courtesy text. I've had in the past like a courtesy text. And it's like, oh, no, well, I'm not at home because I'm knowing you right in the house.
Right,
in
that's
the
what I'm
bed.
saying. That's what I was
But
just about
scared,
to say.
like, if you show up, like, just try to talk out of it because if you
Yeah.
really show up, then what's going to happen?
And that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. See, sometimes you can't send that courtesy text because you'll get that response.
You can't respond. You have to ignore the text message
Yeah.
and hope that the person won't come up.
Right.
I think for a person to really show up, like, I'm going to give you a little bit of respect because that's a bold,
Yeah.
That's very
big
bold.
Very
move.
bold.
Very
move.
bold.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you do?
Speaking,
I need to know. I need to know where both of y'all.
I would feel that way. Like, oh, okay, so we're not together anymore. You still think you have some type of power over me, and you think you're still in the position to where you can just come over here and just pop up, and it's supposed to talk to you, and everything is all good and peachy cream. Like, no,
Right. It's
what are you doing
problematic.
here? Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean. You're gonna get a good cursing out from me, like, a good one.
I mean, think about it. She was ready to go. She was ready to
ready.
She
go.
was ready to go, but
Okay.
she must not have been that ready because honestly,
Yeah.
if you have the nerve to show up at my place unannounced
Ooh.
and I have somebody and I'm ready to go, I'm gonna go turn around, get on that elevator, and we can be like, okay, we can go to your place. I'm not about to entertain. Not at that moment. No, absolutely not.
You think the
think
other
that's-
person? Yeah, you think the other
No.
person would be okay with it? They would.
That's not
They're
the question.
I don't feel like that's
That's not a
realistic.
Or who knows? Maybe
It's
if you're
not-
a real
that's
freak, maybe you
realistic
have a
for me.
threesome.
That's not realistic
That's too
for me.
much.
But,
Yeah,
If you're
maybe.
freaky enough.
That
that's too.
Nah.
is a
Even besides, because of the relationship, that's too much. That's too much. Take the freak out of
Right.
it, like it's just too much.
Yeah, I
But we
think-
could talk the next day, you know. But like, no. Just stop what you're doing.
I think it's, well, what I felt they did well with the episode is the way that they handled it, because we do have a certain amount of information. We know these characters and we know how they would respond. So I
Yeah.
felt that it was very a grown up, or we're both people of power. So it made sense for them to have it play out. But as for me in my life, there's not going to
He
be.
needs some
It wouldn't have
answers.
been so simple.
It wouldn't be, no, somebody's going to fight. But what would you do? Because you're not getting out of this. Lanisha,
We
try
all
not to
have to answer.
What would I do? Am I in love with this ex? That's what I want to know, because I like how you play both perspective. If I don't like the ex, he gotta go.
Okay,
I'm
but
sorry.
it's
But
fit,
wait,
so it's that
but
situation
if I'm
where
in that situation, if I'm truly in love with the person, I would probably be like Olivia, speechless as hell. I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be like,
I mean,
you
yeah.
answer for me. What you want to do?
Right.
I would ask my neighbor, what you want to do?
How long had it been since Olivia and Fitz had seen each other? Like 100 days, right?
100
I wanna
days.
say,
Yeah, it was
because
100
of the-
days.
mhm.
3,
100
4.
days.
Oh yeah,
That's
I'm gonna
almost
be.
1 month.
Right.
Yeah, it would be
That's
like
why
that,
I said.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. If I don't have to get on the elevator, excuse you. Out of the way. Shut the door in the face. We can talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah,
Two
no.
people of power. We
No.
can
I'm
talk
thinking
about
about
this
myself
tomorrow.
realistically. If it was someone who I was
The heart
really
wants
in
what the
love
heart
with,
wants.
yes,
Yeah.
I would be like, I
Yes.
don't know what to do.
I would be in my feelings. I would probably have a shocked reaction too, but I would know I would be in my feelings. And for
Well, yeah.
me, going through that, and I know like we've had a rocky situation. Like we were very, very much in love, but we also had a lot of drama. I would, like I just said earlier, I would be upset, and I would probably start like, I want to be a better person. Even now in real life relationships, I want to be a better person.
For sure.
I want to stop
Yeah.
going
I
off
want
so
to be a
quickly.
better person. Oh.
But right, but in that moment, I think the old me or the me I'm trying to work on would just come through, and it would just not be pretty, because it was like, how dare you? I haven't seen
Yeah.
you. You want a phone call would be nice. We haven't
Yeah.
seen each other or really talked in like months, and you just want to pop up at my house.
So you
and
would-
clearly you
so
don't
you would
know
hit
what
him.
I have going on, as you can see.
But so you would want to talk right then and there.
Yeah.
See, that's what
but
I'm
see,
saying. I'm
here's
not
the
doing
thing.
that.
I-
No.
The thing is, I really wouldn't want to, because I'm not really talking or getting anything really done or accomplished,
But
or
you
getting
would
anything out of the
have to.
conversation. But I guess I'm addressing it.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
probably not
Ah,
talking about it
okay.
like in depth, like, okay, everything that's going on, but I'm addressing like, why are you here?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think
You have the
that
nerve.
everybody has that one person
Yeah.
that it don't matter, you gonna accept, like, what are you gonna do about it? You know, everybody has that one person that you're pulled towards. Like, come on.
And that president, he's very, like, aggressive. He's like, I'm not leaving. Like, she was just like, well, dang, that's kind of attractive. That's kind of hot right there.
And then that happens too. You get torn in between. Either you're at the point where like, oh no, you are gonna leave, or then it's like, okay, Daddy, you know.
Yeah, I think I would be like that though, because it's like, ooh, that was kind of hot right there.
Okay.
No.
Shonda will give us a fix. She will give us a fix for sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So we know what we would do.
Yes.
But
what would you do?
Exactly.
So,
what would you guys do?
Yes, you guys got to tweet us. All of our Twitter handles.
Yes, tweet us.
Like,
we want to know. And then once we get the responses, we can sift through and, highlight some good ones.
Yeah, we'll share them back with you guys in the next show. Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I am too.
We're not crazy. Surely there are people out there crazier than us.
Oh, yeah. I hope crazier than me. I have called myself crazy on too many panels. People don't be watching like that girl. Nuts.
Yeah, so to be clear, the question is, what would you do? So each week we have a segment where we're going to take a look at the shows and we pick kind of the headline of it, and we want to know, what would you do? In this instance, if your ex showed up at your doorstep, at your elevator, what would you do? And you were on a date. You're coming from a date with a gentleman caller or lady caller. Your ex is at the door and sees you kissing. What are you going to do?
And this is for both guys and girls. That didn't happen.
Okay. Let us know.
Thank God for napkins.
Yeah. And we can hashtag it. Hashtag what would you do?
You know,
that's a good idea, right?
What would you do?
So mention us and hashtag.
Like that. Yeah. And I think what we decided is that we will tweet out the question before the show.
Yes.
Give you guys some time to think about it, and then tweet us. And then once we actually do this segment, we'll give our ansers, and then
look for you guys.
What you guys said.
I know you guys want to do this, what I just did. That would be horrible. I mean, I guess if an ex came and you guys spilled wine, that would be like, woo, he must have been fine as hell.
On that note.
Right?
Great.
Well, hopefully Shonda has a whole bunch more drama and news for us next week, so we can
definitely.
I'm super looking.
She always will.
She always will.
I'm here to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week for sure. Bring in some political commentary, bring in some new segment ideas, and definitely hear what you guys think or what you would do.
Yes, absolutely.
So make sure, like we said earlier, you guys tweet us your thoughts and any suggestions for the wine. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Red or white.
Right, red or white.
Just red.
And the response to the What Would You Do question. So make sure you guys join us here next week for Shondaland Weekly. Once again, I'm Elle Marie. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ElleMarieTV.
And I'm Tori Broussard. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tori_Broussard.
I'm Keith Andre. Follow me everywhere at Keith_Andre.
I'm Lanisha. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lanisha, spelled LANISHA 914.
See y'all next
Later.
week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.